Shout out to Kop-Ish.
Shout out to Kopish,
keep
guys.
all the good work
The
up.
two legends, Emil Heskey, Howard Gill. Can't get much better than that, guys. Yeah. You know what to do now. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm with legends, guys.
Kop-Ish.
Yes, people, what is going on? Hope you are all well and blessed. Happy Friday morning. It's Drifty you've got this morning for your Monday meetup show live, guys. Big up yourselves each and every time. I'm just going to say off the rip, guys, the reason why I am not on camera is because in the mornings, it's when my back is flaring up the most, guys. So I am actually not gonna let you guys see the grimace I am going through right now and the struggle. But big up yourselves every single time, guys. Wanted to make sure I still brought you this morning show. And we have a few things to talk about. Guys. I see everybody jumping in. Big up yourselves each and every time. And love as always. I'm just going to start off with this super chat that we had that was waiting for me when I got in here. From Sono. Big up. I don't think I've seen you super chat before. I really don't. But here we go. It says, now that Bitcoin almost reached 100K, FSG are ready to invest. Maybe they own some. Love the channel, guys. Big up, Kopish. Greetings from Budapest. Big up yourself, Sono. Especially if it's your first super chat as well. I don't think I have. Maybe the boys have seen you super chat before, but big up yourself each and every time. Much appreciated. And do you want to know what? That sets the tone for what I'm about to start this show with. So let's just get straight into it. So as Sono has said, as you can see from the heading, FSG are ready to invest. Now, guys, this is a little bit misleading, this headline, after reading the article. Obviously, the first thing you do is you get a little bit optimistic when you see a heading like this. But when you go through it, I'll be honest with you, it isn't about Liverpool directly. But what it is saying is that if this is the case right now, does it mean there's a possibility in the future for Liverpool? So what this basically is saying, guys, is that the amount of stick and backlash that they've been receiving in Boston from the Red Sox has made them make massive investments recently. And they have this whole plan to, within the next decade, go back to dominating in baseball and making the team win. And it seems from what insiders are saying, people who know them, that they've had a slight change in approach and they kind of believe they want to be more winners now, more so than just competing, so to speak. So what people are doing is they're putting two and two together and they're trying to basically say, will they put that same effort into Liverpool, being as we're on their portfolio? We are one of their major clubs. And it for me is kind of a believe it when I see it. Do you know what I mean? Like I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm extremely happy to hear that our owners are now doing what it seems is right by one of the other clubs they own, who have fans that have been complaining about their lack of investment and lack of ambition for way longer than we have, because they've been having issues for longer than we have with their lack of care for winning, so to speak. So it's all positive. I'll be honest with you. We can't look at this in a negative way in any way, but will they? It will remain to be seen, won't it? Whether they will actually put in as much as they're willing to now. Let's be honest. What's their first love? It's their first love. We know that baseball in Boston is their first love. But if they've changed their mind about that, then maybe they will change their mind about Liverpool, and maybe they will want to be more successful just as a whole. You know what I mean? We are one of the major things on their portfolio. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on this one. I'll be honest with you. I'll believe it when I see it. But, hey, I think if you look at the fact that they're willing to invest heavily in the Boston Red Sox, it might mean they'll be willing to invest in everything they own and get some success. So let's see. Let's see. Let's not hold our breath on this one, but we'll see. We will see, people. So let me know in the comments below if you're watching this afterwards. I can see the live chat. I can tell this war chest talk, it never happens. Big up Sam. Max, as always, says it's full of ish. Do not be fooled. Believe it when you see it. You know what? You know what? We will see. We will see. We will see. Right, guys. On to more what I would call pressing news right now. I know we've been talking about this for a little while now. This isn't fresh news today, so to speak. But guys, it is understood that Virgil has agreed his Liverpool contract, and there's just finer details that need to be ironed out. And the right time is being waited for before they present it to us. I really hope this is true. I think he is the key ingredient to our continued progression and hopeful success. And I just love the guy, which I'm sure all of you do. I think he's the one that wants to stay at Liverpool the most out of all of the contracts that we're trying to renew. And I think that probably means he might be the easiest one to get done. But I love that because I think he's the most important one that needs to get done. Again, I don't know what you guys are thinking, but I do hope that this one is true. And off of that, there is also talk as well that FSG are working feverishly. I hope I've said that right. It's very early in the morning. Still got morning brain. Feverishly on the Trent, the Virgil, and the Salah deals. This comes by way of Peter Moore. I know a lot of you will know who he is, Liverpool OG. And in an interview that he was conducting, and again, obviously, remember, he probably does have a lot of inside contacts. He probably knows things that we don't know and whatnot. And he is apparently been talking about the fact that he does believe that behind the scenes, everything within FSG and you know, and obviously Edwards, etc.'s power is being pushed towards Liverpool, making sure we get these contracts done. So, Van Man, it's too early for the pausing, brother. It's too early for the pausing, my G. Oh, man. Besides, who doesn't like morning brain? Anyway, back to what I was saying. Yeah, so, you know, I'm going to take this under good authority, just using common sense that he knows people, he spoke to people, and, you know, there's something he knows that maybe we don't, and he doesn't want to just come out right and say it. But obviously, you know, the situation is that they are working hard, and this is what we all want. And I really hope, because one of the things that was said in there that was key was before January, when clubs outside of the Prem can speak to our players without it being illegal. Remember, on the 1st of January, the contracts open up to everyone around Europe who can talk to them, and we can't do anything about it. So it is integral to this situation that we get these done before other clubs can start talking. Now, I know they can talk through their agents and all that kind of stuff, but let's be honest. Being able to just literally rock up to a dinner date with them is still totally different to just talking to agents behind their back on a secret thing. So we got to get this done as soon as possible. You know what I mean? And Peter Moore's still a man who absolutely adores and loves Liverpool. I'm hoping this is just good information. Do you know what I mean? Big up Sadiq. I see you, brother. Bro, you know the morning ones with a cup of tea. You know what I mean? The heat packs on the back. And you know what I mean? We know what it is. Big up 12th man. Bro, how? Oh, no. It's probably about 2 a.m. where you are right now. Maybe, I guess so, innit? So it's not too late. Big up yourself. Ken, appreciate that, my bro. Big up yourself. I think a trip to the doctors is in order now because I thought my back would have been better by now, but it doesn't seem to be getting better. Guys, take care of your back health, man. I'm telling you, once your back goes, it is not the one. Big up yourself, John. I'll see you, bro. Big up, man. Big up everyone in the chat, by the way. I know this is a lot earlier than we normally bring you the show around 10. So it's a little bit earlier. I have a few things I have to do today, guys. So I thought I'd bring you the show earlier. But hopefully you can catch this on the replay if you're not watching live, or if you're on your way to work, or just getting in from work, which maybe Sadiq is. I know my brother does nights. I don't know, Sadiq, if you just got in, bro. But big up yourself anyway. So yeah, what do we think, guys? Do we think that Peter Moore is letting us in, or do you think he's just giving an opinion? Is he saying something based on something he knows? What do you guys think? Let me know. This is an interesting piece of news that I found this morning as well, guys. I know the press conference is actually scheduled for 9:30, if I'm not mistaken, for slot. So there is a slight possibility that there could be more news that maybe I might be missing, obviously, with doing the show a little bit earlier. But you know what? I might even, when I get back later on, guys, maybe do a little lunchtime show for you guys, maybe something like that. And we also have the preview coming again later on today as well for the Southampton game. So, guys, you may even get 2 news shows. You may even get a Kopish catch-up later on in the day if there is anything from the press conference that we hear that maybe needs to be spoken about. But coming of way of the echo, Mo Salah has given Liverpool a triple boost as the key contract date nears. Now, I read the article, and basically within the article, what seems to be good news is that Egypt, you know, the Egyptian FA, the manager, etc., they all seem to be on the same page with Liverpool when it comes to our King Mo, which is at 32, approaching 33 years old. His career now has to be monitored and has to be treated differently. And apparently they are willing to give Mo a lot more time off on international breaks, where and when needed, in order to to prolong his career, because they would hope that he could play for them in major tournaments to come. But they know that at his age, he can't be playing all the qualifiers and he can't be going on every international break and whatnot, especially with the rigors and the demands of the Premier League. So if I'm being honest with you, I do think it does come as a way of a little bit of a boost in the contract negotiations. And I'll tell you why. Because I think if Liverpool are negotiating a contract with Mo, and if Liverpool are looking at the situation from what your longevity will be, how much longer you can do this for, etc., 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 I think this will be a massive boost to know that the Egyptian FA football, federation will be willing to work with us at times when we may need to ask them if he cannot go, if he can be given more rest. If there's certain situations, it seems like they're willing to be, what's the word? Cooperative and understanding of the situation. So it could be seen as a little misleading in terms of a headline. I get that, but I still looked at it from a logical point of view, and I thought to myself, do you know what? If we're in contract negotiations and they're saying that they'll give him more time off from international breaks than they have been, and they won't rinse him basically, which will allow him to be able to, have more energy, basically, more legs throughout the seasons. I think it helps Liverpool when making that decision. And I think it helps Mo in his negotiation of why he thinks a 3-year deal, for example, would be good for us to give him if we're worried about, what he'll be like in a year's time or 2 years' time or whatever. So I think it could be good news. Guys. Again, another key person we need to get tied down in this contract situation. And, we will see. But guys, let me know what you think as well when it comes to the situation. Let me know if you think that this does help the negotiation for Mo, with regards to, them, because a lot of international coaches and stuff, they'll just play players for no reason. And they gave him this international break off as an example, which maybe shows good faith that they are backing themselves and they are telling the truth. I know they're qualified, so it didn't matter, but still, this 2-week break for Mo while everyone's been gone was amazing, and I'm sure it did him the power of good that he was able to chill, have a few days off, and just relax and not be doing around the world flying. Do you get what I mean? Flying to Africa and back, especially for Egypt home games, that is a long round trip, bang in the middle of a season. You know what I mean? So he's got to rest up, which is good. So let's hope let's hope that that will be the situation with him. As we move on into some transfer news now, and there's a few. First, I'm gonna start with this one. As you already know, we have been speaking about this one for a little while, and that is for Cherki. Now, apparently, we're kind of going a bit ham with our scouting of him, which kind of suggests to me that he might be a priority. It kind of does suggest to me that he might be a priority. I don't know how you lot think about this situation, but I know this definitely makes Matt extremely happy because he is a very good player. We do need a left back. A lot of people believe we need a left back. And yeah, it does really seem like it does seem like we're interested in him. Again, we've been having this conversation amongst us. What do you lot think? Do you lot think this is a good deal? If this really was to be if we really push for this? Fabrizio doesn't really say things just for the sake of it. So I'm inclined to believe it. Will we go for him in January, or is this more of a summer signing? Me personally, I think this is more of a summer signing. I think this is something we'll look at in the summer. I don't think we'll address left back in January. If I'm being honest with you, I don't believe there's a need to address it in January. I think that Tsimikas and Robertson, with the potential of Gomez, an absolute emergency, I think is good enough, personally, for left back for the remainder of this season. But obviously in the summer, it's definitely something we need to look at. So yeah, let me know, guys. How do you feel about Cherki? And do you think this would be more of a summer like me more than January? Let me know, guys. There's one piece of news that I don't have a visual for because I downloaded it and it's not here and I can't be bothered to waste anybody's time trying to find it. But Mbeumo has strongly been linked this morning with a move to Liverpool, but also closely followed by Newcastle. Apparently, both Newcastle and Liverpool are monitoring Mbeumo very, very closely. I'll be honest with you, I really don't think it's necessary, but my opinion on Mbeumo gets more and more impressed at the same time. Not trying to be a flip-flop in any way, because I know when we're linked in the summer, I wasn't up for it, and I'm still not up for it. But Mbeumo, as he gets older, as he gets more experienced, he's definitely impressing me, and I definitely think he's getting better and better. He really is, and I don't think he'd make the move to be a squad player, but I think he'd make a brilliant squad player, if that makes sense. But again, I'm not too sure. Newcastle would be a perfect move for him, though. If I'm being totally honest, I think if Newcastle was to sign Mbeumo, that would be a type of signing that could help take them to the next level. I think he would be absolutely brilliant for Newcastle. If they could have him on one flank and they could have Flash Gordon on the other flank and keep Isak, that's a strike force. That's a strike force for Newcastle at their level. That would be something else. And obviously he can also play up front as well if Isak was injured. I think it would be a brilliant move for Newcastle and for him. But Liverpool are monitoring him apparently. So let me know, guys. I agree, Russell. I think it's a brilliant signing for Newcastle. But let me know, guys, what you lot think about this news that's come out today about Liverpool very closely monitoring Mbeumo. And of course, I'm going to end on this one, guys. You know, this news is broke. We've been talking about this. It first came out while we were doing the draft on a Wednesday. And obviously, this is our first news show since then. So I just want to talk about it, guys. Coming by the way of Dave, who is an absolute G in the Liverpool game. We all know that. And it is that Liverpool advanced in talks to secure under 25 million winter signing. That is your boy Ryan Cherki. Now, it's reported around 20 to 29 million is what I've seen from what a lot of people are saying. What's funny as well is apparently he hasn't made a senior appearance in a competitive game for France, and he might be switching his allegiance to Italy. Apparently, he is of Italian heritage as well as French, and apparently he's thinking about picking Italy instead of France to play for the main, which is that's interesting, very interesting. It's also smart on his part, I reckon, because that French team is stacked, but the Italian team is crying out for some new ballers. He'll get a lot more game time in the Italian squad. And let's be honest, playing for Italy is just as good as playing for France in terms of their heritage and how big they are as a nation, footballing nation. Yeah, they're in the wild wilderness a little bit at the moment, but maybe he sees his future as maybe being one of the young up-and-comers to try and get Italy back. So I'm not sure, but that's what the rumors are. I literally woke up this morning checking if there was any Cherki news, and I heard that he's considering playing for Italy. So he has to have some kind of Italian heritage, right? If he's eligible to play for Italy. Because Killer, as you're saying, like I thought he was Algerian, like generally speaking, not digging too deep into it. But yeah, apparently he has Italian ties. So he can switch allegiance to Italy, which he's thinking about doing. They're trying to convince him right now. So yeah, but anyway, I digress. That little tangent there. What are we thinking, guys? I mean, like I said, Dave-O, he does not really talk for the sake of it. And he like generally speaking, he doesn't know his stuff. So I'm inclined to believe that this is real. And I'm not going to get carried away. I'm really not going to get carried away. But I am super, super excited at the idea of this being real. Like super, super excited. I'm not sure about all these links with Chiesa going back to Italy on loan for 6 months because he's struggling to adapt, etc., etc. I'm not sure if I believe that or not. But I don't even think that this signing that is dependent on that. For me, I think that Cherki would come in and play the 10 more so than the wing anyway, which would be absolutely beautiful for what I want us to be bringing in. I want us to have that player in the 10 that has more creativity, that has more forward thinking, and can be more of a threat to the opposition than unfortunately what Szoboszlai has been. Szoboszlai can easily play in the pivot with training, I believe. I know a lot of people don't like the idea of that, but I think if you put him in that position and you progress with him, I think maybe Szoboszlai could become a good pivot player. Not the defensive one in the pivot, but just be a good pivot player, especially with his pressing and his energy and his running and his legs and his, overall midfield work rate. You've got Jones who can also play in there now. And that's not to say we don't need a DM. We definitely do need a DM. But this is an opportunistic signing, which Chiesa was. And I truly believe you jump at this opportunity. Ryan Cherki for £25 million is an absolute no-brainer, even if it fails. You don't miss opportunities like this. If it fails, it fails. You don't win if you don't take risks and you don't try. So we need to try if we can get a player of this level. Reports are that Real Madrid are also extremely interested in him. And Chelsea tried to sign him. If you look, not so long ago, and I know they got Cole Palmer afterwards, and maybe that would be, them locked down now and not thinking they need him anymore. But Chelsea, they stockpile, and they might still see it as an opportunity at this price, even to make a profit on him in a year or two's time, because this is massively cheap for a player of his talent and his age. He's only 21, and he's touted as one of the best young players in world football and has been for a few years now. I think you jump at this opportunity regardless of whether it's not the priority position we need or what have you. You jump at this opportunity. If you were walking down the street and you saw a Porsche and it had a for sale sign in the window and you just looked out of curiosity and it said $5,000 and you looked it up on, I don't know, Auto Trader or whatever country you come from, wherever they sell, cars in that country, and it said that car's value on the market for a car in that same condition was like 80 grand, you would go and take that number down and call that person and say, is this true? Are there any issues? If not, I'm buying. And you had no intention of buying a Porsche. But who turns down a Porsche for five grand? Who turns down Ryan Cherki for 25 million? Who? Why? Why would you do that? Liverpool, get it done. And this is coming off the back of the massive rumours that FSG are almost thinking about helping Lyon out in their situation. They're 500 million in debt, Lyon, and they've been relegated. And there's all that, you know, the club could even fold. FSG apparently are one of the ownerships looking at maybe buying them. Remember, they was trying to buy Bordeaux, didn't get Bordeaux. So maybe they still want a team in France. Look what they did with Liverpool in terms of they turned us into a club that was only worth 300 million into a club that's worth 2 billion now, I think we are, or over 2 billion. Commercially, they're brilliant. That's one thing we know FSG are great at. So I'm telling you, that straight away made me think, hold on a minute, so maybe we can get some of their players. Who plays for them again? Oh, yeah. And then literally 24 hours later, this news started to break. So I'm starting to freak myself out with how things I'm saying seem to be coming to light. But look, at the end of the day, I mean, I see a couple people saying Cherki's not a Porsche. I beg to differ, guys. I beg to differ. Even if he's a Boxster, even if he's a Porsche Boxster, you know what I mean? Maybe he's not a 911, you know what I mean? Or a Panamera. But he's still a Porsche Boxster, you know what I mean? He's still a Porsche, you know what I mean? You pull up, you might not be in the top Porsche, but you're still in a Porsche, you know what I mean? He's a super talented player, guys. Super, super talented player. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I truly believe we should be getting this done at the double. Get this done at the double. So let me know, guys, what you think about everything that's been discussed this morning. Hope everybody is doing well and blessed. And appreciate you guys all jumping in as well this morning. I know it's early. Whether you're on your way to work, whether you're just getting in from work, whether you got your day off, whether you're relaxing, we always appreciate you joining us. I appreciate you joining me this morning, and I hope you have a brilliant rest of your day, guys. As I said, we will be back later on this evening. John is all in on the Cherki, you know, and I know, John, I know we've had conversations about him in the past, brother. I know. And again, it's just an option as well. There might be games where we still play Szoboszlai in the 10. But what about the games where we might need a little more? You know what I mean? In terms of like creativity and not... Guys, Cherki's a baller, man. 25 mil, just fucking get it done. It's a no-brainer. But guys, we will be back later on today. Time unknown at the moment. Maybe around 6 or 7 p.m., guys, UK time. But that's not confirmed. Put on your notifications so you know we're going live. Stay tuned to the socials and we will let you guys know when we're going live as well. And yeah, we will be back. And as I said, you might even get a lunchtime show if anything breaks from the press conference when our bad boy manager speaks in about 20-25 minutes time. Maybe bring you something a little later on as well. Until then, people, big up your damn selves each and every time. Love as always. You already know what it is. And we will catch you on the flip side. It's been your boy Drift. This has been the morning meetup show, and I'm out, people. Peace.